Ours is an academic mission. We seek to enhance our students' learning,
We believe that these students can really envision a different future.
bring them to a deeper understanding of the social issues and their responsibility in the face of them.
We want them to use this experience to think, who am I called to be in this world?
The center is the heartbeat of Notre Dame. It truly is.
I think it's spectacular the way it's gone. But I take that to be the work of the Spirit here.
The aim is to create a sense of human solidarity and concern for the common good that will bear fruit as learning becomes service to justice.
The Center for Social Concerns at the University of Notre Dame is our service and community-based learning center.
Only 1% of the entire world's population gets a university-level education, much less a Notre Dame education. So for me, being involved with the center has kind of put that in a whole new light and forced me to think about, what does that mean as far as my responsibility and what I'm called to do with that education.
Fully 85% of our student body will be involved in some sort of community service during their time here at Notre Dame. We will also have 10% of our graduates who will go on to a year or more of full-time volunteer service once they've left Notre Dame.
Every year, students at the University of Notre Dame contribute 265,000 hours of community service locally. They're tutoring kids at the Boys and Girls Club. They're working at the Center for the Homeless. That's direct service.
As they get smaller, they become droplets of water.
They make an essential contribution to the operation of this center. I don't think we could actually do it without them.
We have a program at the Center for Social Concerns called our Faculty Fellows Program. And each year we invite 2 faculty members to join with us, and we help them do something that they're interested in doing while they are, in effect, supporting our mission.
So we'll look for different types of peeling paint. The more we test, the better.
We decided that working on the issue of lead would be a real creative way to use their skills and expertise in analyzing samples. What the students are doing is working with community professionals then going into the home environment and identifying the sources of lead and coming up with solutions that families can then use to minimize that risk of lead exposure. Now their chemistry laboratory experience means so much more because they can assign a family and a face to what they're doing.
They were seeing that when they leave college and go to work, they can use those skills in all sorts of ways to contribute to their communities. The first point of entry for many students to the Center for Social Concerns is what we call our Urban Plunge course. Through the Urban Plunge, about 200 students every year go to one of 40 cities across the United States and spend 48 hours immersed in the realities of that urban environment.
My experience with Urban Plunge really forced me to critically evaluate my privileged position in society and to try to take the perspective from below.
Very often after students take the Urban Plunge, they're interested in more experience with the Center for Social Concerns. Over 400 students a year participate in our 1-credit seminars that include a week-long trip for them to someplace across the United States during their fall or spring break. They meet several times to help them prepare for what they're going to experience when they are at the various sites. Students go to 16 different sites in the Appalachia region. They investigate immigration issues in Texas. They look at issues of children in poverty in New York.
My first experience was going to West Virginia with 12 students. We went there to help them prepare for the winter months. So we bonded with them.
A more intense experience for students who have taken the Urban Plunge or who have participated in the 1-credit social concerns seminars is something called the Summer Service Project. Students will go to one of any number of cities across the United States and spend about 8 weeks of community involvement. They work at shelters for the homeless, they work in AIDS clinics, They work tutoring children. They work in parishes. The Summer Service Project is the largest program of its kind in the country. Over 115 Notre Dame alumni clubs across the U.S. provide room, board, and moral support for SSP students.
I chose to do a summer service project, working with a free after-school program. 40 hours a week, 8 weeks in a row was very exhausting to be with the children, but it was an incredible growth experience.
The International Summer Service Learning Program, or ISSLP for short, is the most intensive experience that students can have through the Center for Social Concerns. Students go to 12 different countries in Latin America, Asia, and Africa, and they spend 8 to 10 weeks working with the people in various capacities in those areas.
The ISSLP gave me the opportunity to serve in Calcutta, India with the Missionaries of Charity. I was blessed to spend time and be in the presence of the poorest of the poor.
When they return, they participate in various forms of reflection. They write a paper, they give presentations, very often they take follow-up courses.
Since my time in India, I've been able to initiate independent research and do comparative studies on healthcare in international settings. And this has transformed the way that I view medical school and how I want to practice as a physician in the future.
This class has just given me so much to think about.
It really made me understand what service was all about. It has made me think about the Catholic Church, social tradition, everything.
As I get closer to graduation, I've decided that I'm going to do a one-year service program because service has, through college, become ingrained in who I am and what I want to do.
I am now firmly committed to doing postgraduate service next year through the Alliance for Catholic Education program. I'm going to be a teacher next year, teaching Spanish and social studies to 5th through 8th graders.
There's almost no limit to the imagination these young people have of helping others.
What the center does for this university is that it puts words and values in our mission statement into practice.
We really are in the business of changing lives, and it's a privilege to be in the middle of it.
It's almost like a contagion, and it's a wonderful contagion.
I'm just one of thousands and thousands of students who have been transformed by the opportunities that the Center for Social Concerns gives the students here.